Alright, I'm at the same place we were at a couple of days ago in Vero Beach. It's a wetland restoration or wastewater treatment plant. And I was told there are some nesting sandhill cranes. I just got out of my car and there's one over there all by itself eating. What do they eat anyways? I think it's grubs, right? They pull these meaty little grubs out of the ground. Yummy.
I was able to get a good close-up of that sandhill crane eating. I'm no bug expert, but I'd say that's a grub. Sometimes, in order to get really good pictures of birds and other types of wildlife, you have to do your best to blend into the environment. See that hair? It looks just like a bird's nest.
It's not the greatest day for photography. It's really cloudy, but we're gonna try anyways. There's a couple of red-bellied woodpeckers in this tree up here. They're really, oh, one just laid on the ground, or is that a...
It's a blue jay.
Oh, blue jay. Blue jays are super cool. I once watched a blue jay attacking a wasp nest underneath a palm frond, and I was wondering why he kept hitting it. And then I noticed every time he hit it, he would knock a baby wasp, like a grub, out onto the ground, and then he would eat it. They're super smart birds. But anyways, there's a whole bunch of red-bellied woodpeckers over here in this tree. That sandhill crane looks like it's coming right up to us. And then these blue jays. I'm gonna get some pictures.
Even though it was really overcast and the red-bellied woodpecker was in the shadows, I was able to capture some really good detail and bring it out in post. The D500 is pretty impressive in that regard. Speaking of detail, look at the detail on that sandhill crane, especially his eye. Look at it, it's almost like fire, and you can see through the nostril hole in his beak. As the sandhill crane walked away, it went up on top of this hill, and it gave me a really good vantage point to get this type of shot. I love silhouette shots. I know they're not for everybody, but they really add the element of mystery to a picture.
So we just found the sandhill crane's nest, and here's a testament to their camouflage abilities. See if you can spot it out here in this little swampy area.
It's almost impossible to see him with the little GoPro camera. So here, let's use the D500 in my zoom lens and get some good footage of him.
The only reason I knew it was here is someone told me yesterday that there was a nest over here in this section. How cool. I'll have to come back and watch because I want to see the babies. I think it's time to switch. Oh my God. Oh, I see the egg. It's moving. That is the egg, the white spot in the middle. Come here, look. Look. The one that we've been seeing on its own isn't a juvenile, it's just whichever one isn't sitting on the nest. Now, I don't know if everyone knows this, but sandhill cranes mate for life, so when they find another, they stay together forever. And it's kind of funny because today is my wife and I's 22nd anniversary, and this is what we're doing out here, but we just got to experience a sandhill crane on the nest, moving its eggs, and then watch the pair silently switch. You know, the one came in and left, and then the other one. Wow, that's totally awesome. Check out this little guy. How many birds do you think will eat that? Maybe none, maybe he tastes awful. And my wife just pointed out to me, here's this little trail where he goes down into the bush. Here, hold that. See how easy it is to use that big lens? Remember we were talking about that? Just think of the opportunities. Anyways, look, here we go, down at the outer level. He might be down here, I hope not. So look, right down through here. Right into the water. That's an otter trail. There are a lot of bow-tailed grackles out here. I always call them zoo birds. Because if you ever go to any zoos or any theme parks or anything like that, oh, there's a red-winged blackbird right there. Look at him. They make a really cool sound. But anyways, these grackles, if you're ever at any kind of theme park or zoo or anything, they're always everywhere, eager to steal your food. I'm gonna see if I can get some shots of this red-winged blackbird and the grackle.
All right, first up is the Tailed Grackle. If you catch them in the right light, they have this crazy iridescent purpley blue color. It's just, it's crazy looking, and I got a couple of great shots that highlights that color. Look at it. And in this shot, he was yelling at me, and you can see his little tongue sticking out. And then the red-winged blackbird, he was busy flexing his wings and showing off those red spots in both of these photos. And in both of them, he was also making that call that they're famous for.
All right, as we're walking by here, I was taking pictures of this red-winged blackbird out here in these thick cattails, which are these weeds here, for those of you who don't know. There's a bird. You can't really see it. I got some good pictures of it. My wife says, "Hey, what's that bird over there in the bushes?" And I said, well, if you had a big zoom lens on a camera in your hand, you'd be able to tell.
All right, here's a still shot of that mysterious bird in the bushes. Can you tell what it is? Let's get a little bit closer. Do you know what kind of bird this is? This is a juvenile black-capped night heron. I've never seen the juvenile version, only the adult. It's pretty cool looking.
So I mentioned these weeds here. They're cattails. And this is the, at least from what I know, this is the cattail part here. They get, eventually they get real soft. And it's like a giant dandelion that goes poof and flies all over the place. If you look, they're everywhere. Hey, look, there's a tailed grackle back there, 2 of them. But there's all kinds of stuff that hides in these cattails. So if you don't know, now you do. Cattails. Pretty weird.
Speaking of hiding in the cattails, my wife Julie pointed out this little teeny bird as it moved through the cattails. This is a common yellow-throat warbler.
I was hoping to find some snail kites today, and there are 4 of them flying over this pond over here. Unfortunately, the lighting is non-existent, so getting good shots of birds in flight is going to be almost impossible. But I'm going to try anyways because I'm stubborn like that. But there's 4 of them. Oh man, it looks like they're hunting. All the things you gotta watch out for. Look at the snake skin. It's not much left, but it's just another thing. When you're out here walking around, you have to watch out for these snakes. Not much left. It's weird looking. So it's pretty obvious the snail kites are in here. See all the snails? They're all along this boardwalk. All different sizes. Here's a big one. But here's something interesting. These are called apple snails, by the way. Hold on, there's a smudge. So they have these sharp hooked beaks. And here's an apple snail, the shell, and the snail itself on the outside has like this door, so they close themselves in with that door, and the snail kite pulls that off, of course, gets a tasty chunk of food. They're all over the place. The entire path. Look, there's one right there with one in his mouth.
Even though it was extremely overcast, I still managed to get some pretty decent pictures of these snail kites. This first shot is a male snail kite as he drops down into the water and plucks a big snail from the pond. All right, that was a successful catch. Look at the snail and those talons. Let's get a little bit closer for a better view. Now you can see that big snail and his talons. And look how his wings are folded over in mid-flight, but he's still looking at me. Look at that bird. Look at those wings. Look at those feet. Those big nails at the end just wrap right around those snails so they can pull them right out of the water. I think the snail kite sees a snail. And another successful catch. Look at that picture. You can see every single feather in that bird's wing. This is a female snail kite. Notice the difference in color and that lighter pattern on her wings. It looks like the female snail kite got a big snail too. I stated this was a female snail kite, but it could just be a juvenile. They look very, very similar. Anyways, look how good it blends in with the background, with the trees and all that. Perfect camouflage.
We just spent, I don't know, about an hour watching the snail kites. Man, that was incredible. Wasn't that neat?
Oh yeah.
I still don't know how they see them. What amazing eyesight they have. And they just kind of gingerly pull them out of the water. I think I got a bunch of good pictures. And it's really cool because that bird is endangered, but you saw how many of them were here eating those snails. They're having a good time.
Thanks for sticking around till the end. Click the like button, leave a comment or 12, and don't forget to subscribe.